Hello, hi. Sorry about any background noise in this video. It should be short and sweet. I can't remember what I showed last time. Uh, I did try to record this video before, but I messed up some of the mic settings and it sounded like trash. So I've got to remember what I showed in that video and what I've showed in previous videos. Um, Well, I know for a fact you haven't seen these in a previous video, and you haven't seen these. So that's one thing I'll go over. These here are just to show off the different impact effects that my gun can produce. Pretty sure I showed recoil in the previous tutorial explanation, same diff. Well, we've also got our enemies down. They haven't got any physics on them yet, but they will soon enough. I'm going to be adding hit markers right here. If I just okay, never mind. Let me just quickly fix these again. These are things that I'm going to be doing in a later video, like the final video, because I haven't got much left to do. But basically, okay, let's just go into the enemy. And so in the event graph, we've got our obvious reference to player. I've got a BPI because I wanted to mess around with them. That's the only reason it's a BPI. It's because I wanted to mess around with it and see what it did. But that's got the weapon stats and the hit result in them. So the weapon stats is a structure that I created. That's basically just the damage and impact radius of each gun. This is then called to in the weapon base, which all of the weapons call to, and I can basically change it for each weapon. It's also got the hit result, so I wanted to break the weapon stats, just take the damage because I haven't set up the projectile weapons, which will be the impact radius, except the sniper rifle. That'll also be a damage, but I'll figure that out. But what we want to do is create a branch off of the enemy take damage. We've got a variable here for is dead. So if they're not dead, the only reason I put the not boolean in everything, I don't know if I've said this before, it's simply because I prefer to go out of the true branch. It's just a personal preference, because you could literally just take away the not and switch these to false. But that will then call to the calculate damage function here and the health update function and set the is dead to true or false depending. This did have print strings. Just for the sake of it, I will put them back. So if they are dead, I'll put I am dead. If not, I am not dead. I was about to start doing some other stuff. That's why those print strings weren't there. So they will be gone in the final video. So we've got our current health here, which obviously is 100. That's a float. So that's all that's really here, is just when the enemy takes damage, get the damage, calculate the damage, update the health, and set the enemy to dead or not. So if we go into the calculate damage up here, it's taking the damage from the damage, taking the hit result, which I break the hit result, and it's just the physical material, Actually, yeah, I need to show you that as well in a second. It takes the physical material, which I created some. There's wood, metal, stone, and each body part. Then it takes the damage threshold scale and the local damage, multiplies it together. So, for example, if I shoot them in the hand, it's going to do 0.3 times the amount of damage that the gun should be doing. And then it just returns it as calculated damage. Quite simple. Yeah, I just promoted this to a local variable because it's easier. And then it goes to the health update, which is a little more complicated. It takes the damage applied, which is a input that I created, which is basically just take the current health. So the damage that the gun's doing, it takes the current health and subtracts it, basically. But there's a condition here, true or false. If we move this up, you can see it better. If the player's health is less than or equal to the damage applied, set the local is dead because I promoted it to a local. And to true, so they're dead, and set the current health to 0. And out of the false branch, it'll just set the current health to whatever it is. I've got this on a print string just so I can see how much damage the gun's doing each time. And then out of the then 1, the return node being is dead, which is this here, which it calls to in the event graph, and it just sets the local is dead to is dead. So that's all I've really got in the enemy portion. So if we go to our, just quickly do that, project settings, under physics I think it is, yeah, we've got the different physical surfaces here, the physical materials, so to speak. So we've got the head, chest, arm, hand, leg and foot, as well as the stone, metal, wood. The reason I've got these as separate surface types is just because each one has a different damage threshold. So say for example, if I hit them in the hand, it does 0.3 times the amount of damage, which is just the damage threshold scale here. If I shoot them in the head, it does 1.5 times the amount of damage. Let me just close these off. It does 1.5 times the amount of damage. And so on and so forth. So 0.5 in the arm, 1 in the chest, leg is 0.7, and the foot is 0.3 as well. The metal, stone and wood, they all have a damage threshold scale of 1 because I'm not making them destructible. But then we've got the, so if we go into the weapons themselves, where's the weapon? There it is. Weapon base. Oh yeah, I can't remember if I showed the aim down sights. I did that too. It's just a case of the aim field of view, which is a thing in, yeah, it's a function. So it's a bit more complicated. It just, if the player is aiming, take the camera's field of view, take the weapon's field of view, because it's just in the weapon base, I've set it to 70, and F interpolate it and set it to the field of view, the camera's current field of view. If they're not aiming, just set the camera's field of view, just the target of 90, because the camera's default is 90. I could make this a variable, and that would allow the player to change their field of view in general. I could set it to like 120, which a lot of first-person shooter players prefer, and set the field of view to that. Simple as. The F interp is simply just so it's not a snap. It's a, like, It's not slow as hell lifting it up and aiming down sights, but it's not snap and snap. So if I, yeah, that's all that's for there. This is in the player, by the way, the aim field of view. But we call to it here in an event tick. It's just that. What else did I add in here? Just so I don't miss anything. My next project will be a lot more organized. That will be I think I was going to make a Rocket League clone. Try my best to make that. But I'll actually do planning and stuff for that, like a list of things that I need to do, and then write down the things that I did. So the videos will be a lot more, what's the word? Organized. So the hit markers are coming in the last video. All the effects, yeah, that's right, effects. So we just got the impact effects, which is under the thing in here, as far as I'm aware. That's recoil, that's reload. I know I showed recoil before, I remember. Impact effect, it's a class, yeah. So where did we call to that? As the fire for non-automatic weapons, I can move that up. Let me just organize this a little bit more. Sorry about this. Just an organizational process. I should have done this before I start the video, but just makes it a lot easier. Yeah, that was it. It's in the line trace as far as I'm aware. There was a bug that I found when I was testing. I wasn't able to hit the enemy. So what I had to do was go under enemies, and I had to make it something in here. I think it was the mesh. Yeah, I had to collision. I had to change this to query in physics and set the object type to world dynamic. That was simply just because I wasn't able to shoot it because of this here. The actors, the line trace can hit being the world static and world dynamic. It was quite, it was a pain to figure that out. I did. Can you not buzz? I thought I put you on silent. Yeah, it's okay. So, I can't remember where I put the impact effects. That's really bugging me. But, oh wait, no. Yeah. I just needed this. The default value is none. And because the impact effect is a class reference, there was a thing in each weapon for each class, which is where again? Oh, I'm really bad at this. So I know it was in each weapon I had to set the impact effect. Yeah. So, oh, that was right. I had different impact effects in here. Now I remember. Got myself back on track. So the weapon base is calling to this blueprint class right here, the impact effect base. Yeah, now I remember. So, event begin play, a sequence with 4 different pins. Out of then 1, we want a condition. If there is something blocking the hit, then we play this. So we've got the physical material, which is targeting surface type, which is the index, and then each different thing, because if we go here, I created body effects and sound effects, metal effects and sound effects, wood sound effects, stone, and decal stuff. So this is just a select node. We needed that from the surface type, and then we can just plug in. These are all the body. So if the player fires at something and it hits a body, it will play the body effects. If it hits stone, it will play the stone effect. Metal, metal, wood, wood. And then it will spawn an emitter at location, which is just the template, and that location being the impact point. And then we did the same thing, but for sound effects. So instead of it being the spawn emitter, it's play sound at location. That sound being different for each effect. This randomizes the decal rotation, which is, if I remember correctly, right here. It's just a bullet hole. It's nothing special. I'll show you in a minute because it's weird in there. It just randomizes the rotation so it isn't the same bullet hole over and over again. So it just takes the normal, that's its in vector, rotation from X vector, break that rotator. So we're not changing the X rotation, we're just changing the Y and the Z. Make rotator and, oh wait, no, we're not changing the Y and the Z, we're just changing the X. With a random floating range, minus 180 to 180, so full 360, and set that as the decal rotation. And then from the last one, it randomizes the impact effect. So this one was a lot more complex to do. The decal size, make a vector for X, Y, and Z. It's just the decal size. The return value will be the decal size, because this is a spawn decal attached. So it attaches that decal to the cube, or to the floor, or to the mannequin. The same stuff here with select, but it's the impact decal that's everything, same, but same surface types. Decal rotation goes into rotation. The decal lifespan goes into the lifespan. So if we go into lifespan, I just set it to be 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, it will just disappear. The physical material is the target for this. The impact point is the location for the decal. And the hit bone name is the attach point name. So wherever it hits on the bone, it will put it somewhere on that bone. Now, for the physics of the whole, okay, how does the enemy know where it's being hit? I had to go into the mannequin and find the physics asset of the mannequin. And for pelvis to spine, I set it to the enemy chest. Upper arm, lower arm, R and L, I set to enemy arm. Hands, I set to hand. Neck and head, I set to head. Thigh L, calf L, thigh R, calf R, I set to leg. And foot and ball, the feet. That basically just allows the engine to know which part of the body am I hitting, basically. And then that all comes together to create a nice, lovely... So, first off, our aim down sights. As you can see, it wasn't a snap, it's actually a gradual zoom in, but it's a quick gradual zoom in, but it is a gradual zoom in. So I'll just go with the auto rifle here. So if we hit something that's metal, it sparks and has that ba-ding kind of sound. If we hit stone, it has a dust particle come off. And if we hit wood, it has splinters. And then there's the body stuff. So for each mannequin, that's why I've got them all set out like this. So if I hit them in the hand, let me double check. How much damage did I set the auto rifle to do? Weapon stats. I set it to do 25 damage. So, if I hit the mannequin in the head, it's gonna do 50. No, not 50. That'll be 2 times. I'm bad at math. But if I hit them in the chest, it'll do 25 damage. Prince, he's not dead, and as you can see here, actually, the impact effect worked. If I shoot the floor, you can see what the bullet hole looks like. There we go. That's the bullet hole material effect. And if I shoot next to it, no two are the same. They look very similar, but they're not the same because they're rotated slightly. Simple as. So if I hit him in the head, it does more damage. If I hit him in the hand, it only did 7.5 damage. If I hit him in the foot, 7.5 damage. If I hit him in the leg and the arm, just like that, he's now dead. Now, what I'm going to be adding next is hit markers, so you know you've hit him, the ragdoll physics, and I'll actually do an update video then, because I feel like they're going to be quite big things. And then what I'll do is I'll set up the sniper rifle, the grenade launcher, and the rocket launcher, because they're all projectile-based weapons. I haven't set projectile stuff up yet, but I can show you the aim down sights of each weapon. So this is the shotgun. I need to kind of sort that out because, you know, you shouldn't be able to hit someone with a shotgun from that far away. The pistol. These are all using the same aim down sight effect. As you can kind of see, the hand there, it shouldn't really be there. The sniper rifle is the only one that looks a bit weird, but that's because the way I've got the sniper rifles aim down sights is going to be completely different, because it's actually going to have like the sniper reticle, so it kind of looks stupid at the moment. Grenade launcher, because it's going to have an arc on it, and the rocket launcher is the only one I'm having trouble with, because I've got the clipping. There's a lot of clipping issues. I did find a fix for it, but I'm not sure if I want to do it. I might just leave it as it is, since this is just a prototype. But I'm pretty sure that's everything that I have created since the last video. And like I said, my next project is going to be a Rocket League quote-unquote clone. And it's going to be a lot more organized than this is. I apologize for how all over the place this explanation series has been, but I promise the next one will be better. So thank you for watching.